I knew where all my buttons were. Okay. It's been a minute. Welcome back to the Embassy Talks podcast. We're officially back from break, which was longer. Well, I say that with a question mark. I wouldn't say longer than usual, but yeah, it was a good sustainable break. There you go. Let's see. I guess I'll start off. How are you, Jade? Any church announcements?
Let's see. Well, my surgery, obviously, I'm here, so my surgery went well. That was the only thing I was worried about. I was like, I've never been put under. And they got me to go to sleep. I was like, they gave me my tequila shot. That's what they called it when they gave me my drugs. And he's like, you're going to get a tequila shot and then you're going to go to sleep. I did. But no, I had my surgery. Everything went well. And let's see what else. Down 32 pounds. So that's, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, I can't tell, but apparently it's being seen by other people.
That's what
Um,
matters.
yeah, I was
That's
like, it's not what I see, it's what other people see, and they're like, oh, this is the one time it matters what other people see you as.
right.
So yeah, let's see what else. So yeah, but side note, if anybody ever wants to go the route that I went and thinking about bariatric surgery or anything like that, just hit me up because I have a lot of insight on it now on how it works and if you get it done in the States versus if you get it done. I went to Mexico and at a reputable hospital and doctor through their program. So yeah, I was like, I can give insight on that because they were great.
I bet.
It was much cheaper than getting it done here. Like I priced it when I was going to get it done in America. It would have cost me around with like the insurance. So I don't know what my out of pocket would have been,
Mm,
but insurance alone was like 30K
Jesus.
and I paid 5,000.
Good old American healthcare.
Yes. The only thing that wasn't included was my flight and yeah, my flight, my sister's flight cuz your companion is included, your hotel's included, the
Hmm,
surgery's included, the medicine's included. If you buy extra medicine outside of what they provide, that's what you pay for. So I think I spent down there $250 cuz I brought home drugs and well not I'm saying drugs like it's bad. I brought home medications and then some extra pain pills and stuff like that. That's what I brought home with me. And they write you a prescription for everything and like all that stuff and like B12 shots. I came home with stuff like that, like month supplies of stuff that I needed. So yeah, out of pocket, that's all I paid. And yeah, so I'm like, it's the healthcare system here, it's fucked up.
Try.
So yeah, but it was a good experience overall. And I think what else for this? I'm still thinking about YouTube. I just don't know what or how I would start. I'm at a blank. I'm at a crossroads. Just yeah, I'm just like I don't know how I would even begin to start or like if I need to chronicle when I'm at the gym or like what. But
Mm,
yeah, I'm still thinking about that.
that's fair.
Yeah. And apparently the gym I picked is like an old people gym. So I feel like I can get away with recording there
Yeah.
because nobody like the girl that told me to go there and she was like it'd be empty because it's old people that go there. And so I'm like, oh okay. She's like, nope, it's cheap, it's on the low, it's like she's like, it's good, yep. So it's a low key gym. So I'm like, oh okay. And they have a pool. That's all that mattered. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do the YouTube thing still or how I'm going to go about it. So that's to be determined if I do that. Other than that, no cons on the list this year so far. Yeah, I don't think I have anything planned outside of like family vacations. But what about you? You have any news since being back?
Let's see. So I didn't get surgery, but I am also on a weight loss journey with shots. So it yeah, broke down and got the shots. But I'm not chronicling that anywhere really. But just like well, I'm just here, and if you see me start looking different, that's why. And no, I mean, my key takeaways YouTube channel has already been live for almost a year now, but it is currently active. And I am actually doing a sprint challenge like right now. So I'm trying to do 2 videos a week. Oh, I have a Substack. That there we go. I don't know if I announced that already or not. I don't know, but in case I didn't on the last episode, I have a Substack. It's officially live. I owe like about 5 articles at this point because of my schedule and all that. But it's called M's Musings on Substack, where I write about basically I do analysis on stuff I'm watching and or a little the little political analysis that I could get away with for now. So be sure to follow me on there. I will have some articles in the coming days. Like I said, I owe about 5 because I got behind due to my schedule. But yeah, cons, nothing right now, as of now. If anything changes, I'll let y'all know. Think that's I guess I'll be back streaming at some point in the next couple weeks. Yeah, eventually. We'll see. Now that I got my camera like set up better. Yeah. I'll get back to streaming this month. So I'm just gonna retool some stuff on the podcast to YouTube, but you guys will see that if you are interested in going and following the embassy talks on YouTube. And that's pretty much it. And I'm still just looking at the floating dumpster fire we currently have. But yeah, so hey, let's see. Let's go ahead and start. Speaking of floating dumpster fire, let's go ahead and start with our news beat. This actually, it was considered US news. I'm sure it's under the radar though, because it's kind of niche, but I still feel like it's worth talking about. But tenure is apparently getting eliminated at most Oklahoma colleges for most disciplines that aren't heavy research based disciplines. So regional and community college professors will no longer receive tenure, and research university faculty are spared with some exceptions. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt decreed the end of tenure in an executive order that was effective yesterday, Thursday. Public regional universities, which educate more than 54,000 students in the state combined, shall not grant new lifetime tenure appointments in the order. Instead, they may hire faculty under fixed term renewable contracts, and the renewals are dependent on the professor's performance, student outcomes, alignment with workforce, and Oklahoma economic needs and institutional service. Other states that have Republican controlled state legislatures, like in Texas and Florida, have taken up efforts to eliminate tenure, but those proposals are often watered down into laws that weaken but don't outright end tenure for professors. So even without anti-tenure legislation and executive orders, tenure is something that is kind of phasing out just sort of naturally. Most faculty members in the US are on fixed term contracts. They've just been adjusting it in different colleges and universities. So all that to say, why does this matter? Why do we care about professors getting tenure or not, or it being eliminated? So according to the American Association of University Professors, tenure is essential to the protection of academic freedom, which is necessary for all who teach and conduct research in higher education. A tenured appointment is an indefinite appointment that is, if y'all don't know what tenure is, it's a indefinite appointment that is an appointment that's not subject to annual renewal and can be terminated only for adequate cause or under extraordinary circumstances, such as financial exigency or program elimination. Without the protections of tenure, faculty members can lose their positions because their speech inside or outside the classroom, their publications, or their research findings offend accepted moral values, if y'all are picking up what I'm putting down at this point, contradict common beliefs, or run counter to powerful interests. Again, if you're all are picking up what I'm putting down. Under such conditions, faculty members cannot properly fulfill their core responsibilities to advance and transmit knowledge. All of that to say, the anti-intellectualism is very high right now, and actual experts are seeing the brunt or bearing the brunt of it, basically. God forbid we get into another pandemic, or a second pandemic. Yeah, God forbid we get another initiation of a pandemic like we did with COVID. But yay! So I wouldn't say I take this personally per se, even though I do have some relatives who either have their PhDs or do have that, or they're probably retired now, but did have tenure. At the same time, education is very important, and anti-intellectualism has been a stick in my craw for as long as I've been alive at this point. But my soapbox on that, you're muted.
I was muted. That explains a lot. Sorry. Hold on. I gotta move everything back over. What I was doing. But no, what I was saying was I was part of the people that didn't really understand this at first or the impact that it would have. But then after like further explanation, it's just like, okay, that makes sense. But I'm still in that demographic of I don't see the bad in it, but only because for the flip side, like I get what you were saying about I understood what you was putting down. But when you also think about it too, you have people who are it's a very trying times in America, and you have people who are very outspoken, whether you agree or disagree with them. And especially for the people who you may disagree with, whether on whatever side, you're going to disagree with somebody. And then there are people who have that job security, like I can say whatever I want because I have the security of this.
Oh yeah,
So it's just kind of like,
there are definitely some tenured assholes. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah. So it's just like, but then you can't let, what is it, one bad apple spoil the bunch. But at the same time, I'm like, but can you? Can you? Because,
yeah.
yeah, it's just,
Beyond tenure, though, I kind of feel for professors because apparently a whole bunch of, well, I won't say a whole bunch, but there have been students who have leaned very heavily on AI, like ChatGPT, for like their writings. Like if y'all did go to college, you might have known that you do be writing a lot, especially if you go into a research heavy field, which is most fields. But yeah, so
yeah.
in some vein, I'm kind of like, I guess I'm feeling more sympathetic. I feel sympathetic for everybody within higher learning, but particularly for the professors, without like going off of the tangent of tenure and all that, but kind of feeling for them in the sense they have to deal with this field of basically students cheating with AI or overly relying on AI, ChatGPT, because what are the words I'm looking for? Because one, the COVID distance learning definitely impacted their formative years or into the middle school, high school ages. Also, but also, I know that was a big factor. But also, I guess we can blame Child Left Behind. But I don't. I'm kind of iffy on blaming No Child Left Behind because yes, it was bad, but we also survived it, but I can't really speak for all millennials. But it feels like for some reason Gen Z is bearing the brunt of just everything when it comes to that. But I don't know, the academia streets are definitely going through it with the like increased rejection of, or not rejection, but increased like downsizing the tenure and the whole like everybody is heavily relying on ChatGPT and can't form a unique thought apparently. So I don't know. It's very, very interesting times. And as someone who's considering going back, it's gonna be an interesting landscape if I do wind up going back full time. So yeah, guess we'll see. But I do get your point because like I said, it's like there are definitely some tenured assholes for sure. But I also have noticed that tenured professors or just professors, researchers have been vocal, particularly if they studied a lot of history and are experts in history for sure, and science and literature. Those have been social sciences, but they've been a bit more outspoken about things or at least applying academic rigor as they should. So, but of course
Yeah.
we've all had a few professors who we wish didn't have tenure. But yeah, I see your point. Anything else on that though?
I have to say that even though I was given the playing devil's advocate and giving the flip side of it, I don't think that in a whole that teachers deserve, because I mean, teachers, no matter what level they're at, even all the way up to professors, aren't paid enough, aren't respected enough. You Politics come into the classroom, so it messes with what they can teach, because which it shouldn't, and it's not supposed to, but here we are. We have people making laws and telling and threatening schools saying if you teach this, then we'll cut the funding if it's a state school versus private institutions. So this could be something that's detrimental to their job security just because you choose to be like, well, before it would be harder to fire them for something, whereas this can be like, your job's terminated. We can't have African American studies anymore, so it's gone. So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my piece on it.
fair enough. All right, moving on to Creator Hub. No, I did not grab everything since we've been gone. I just grabbed the last 2 weeks because I feel like that's just the most relevant. But anyway, all right, Twitch news. Twitch will soon experiment with letting you choose your landing page, whether it be following the source I grabbed it from said Timu TikTok feed, which is I kept it. It's kind of funny. Or Clips feed. Twitch launched a sponsorship for partners that offered no payment and instead require your audience to pay for 5+ gifts to get a bonus sub, which is wild. I feel partners did I'm not a partner, but I feel that partners probably should have staged a fuck you pay me for that. But okay. No, a sponsorship with no pay? Wild. Twitch is adding a business manager role that grants the person access to your analytics, revenue, and sponsorship dashboards. You'll soon be able to sign up or sign in with into Twitch with into Twitch with Google, Amazon, or Apple. Well, creators are calling Twitch out for this. Creators are calling out guest star slash stream together for being one of the worst features Twitch has ever implemented. I will say, at least for the little that we do, usually just podcasting when I do showcases, it's like it hasn't been bad for me. But I can understand the annoyance because it's not my main gripe is that it is reliant on Google Chrome. And so when I automatically open Edge, I have to be like, damn it, I gotta open Chrome and re-sign in because it's not on Edge, it's on Chrome. But that's like my main gripe, but I can't really complain about Guest Star, maybe because I don't use it all that like often, like weekly at most.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Your thoughts on the Twitch news though?
Yeah, so like cuz obviously we use guest star. I don't see a problem with it like you said, but also we don't use it extensively. Oh sorry, excuse me. We don't use it extensively where you would like I guess notice if it was bad about anything bad about it. So yeah, Twitch do better. How you gonna offer a sponsorship with no payment? Do better. Like I haven't had to say that in a long time. Like, come on now. That's just the math ain't mathin'. So yeah, but it's just kind of crazy. And I guess that's a convenient feature to be able to log in with your Amazon or Google or Apple, just like how other websites do, where you don't have to remember your password or anything like that. You just boop, click the button and it links all your stuff together, which is convenient. Is one less password to have to like remember. So yeah. But yeah, I was like, that's but just the main thing of them not trying to pay people.
Tough times
I was like,
here.
y'all are so yeah, I know I get it. But at the same time, you can't be that cheap. It's like, no. Who does that? That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to YouTube. YouTube shared its plans for 2026. Their plans include improving the YouTube TV product, new shorts formats, new settings for parents with kids, good. New monetization and shopping and brand deals, also good. New AI tools, including creating your own likeness. But on the bright side, handling AI slop and transparency on that. And as of this past week, YouTube purged 4.7 billion views of AI slop content. As a creator, I love that because I do not like competing with AI slop. Just no, just.
Part.
But yeah, that's all the commentary I had on that. Any extra or anything from your end?
Yeah, I'm glad that there have new settings for parents with kids because one, there are people that exploit their kids, not in like a they exploit their children to gain monetary value for money. So they're putting
Yes.
monetary value on their children and they don't go through the same laws of like a child actor.
Mm.
So they're exploiting them. They're not getting paid. There's like YouTubers that I had to stop watching because I found out that the money that they make off of YouTube, they don't give to their kids,
Yeah.
which is just messed up. So like that in itself, that YouTube can't help that, but what they can do is have settings in place for channels that feature children. Right. And then but also they could wait, I took that so wrong, but that's still neither here nor there. But
I
yes,
mean, great point.
they need settings for yeah, I took that the wrong way, but yeah, so but they do need settings for parents with kids,
Yes.
so that way they can limit what they see, because there we go. Because there's a lot that kids don't need to be watching
Yeah.
at all. They don't need to be exposed to, and they have YouTube Kids, but then parents seem to act like they don't wanna put them on that, and it's like Okay, but that's literally what it is. That way it caters to the kids' videos
Right.
and not exposed to because it's an open platform. So the more mature content of what people say, it's like rolling the dice. So you never know what you're gonna get. So like they definitely need those settings in place and hopefully they're like more extensive. YouTube TV I haven't been on YouTube TV in like years. I had it at one point
I don't think I've ever been
when
on it.
everybody when it was see, I got it because at one point it was cheaper. It was like one of the cheaper options.
Yeah.
And we were getting rid of we were heading into the streaming age of everything and of getting rid of your cable. So cut the cord and it was just like, yeah, try out Xfinity streaming, try out streaming, DirecTV and when it was DirecTV streaming at the time and all that. And it was like, okay, we'll try out YouTube TV, see how that's panning out. And it was okay. It's a little not user friendly unless you're like used to it. Like you have to get used to it. It's not a point and click and shoot and that's it. But yeah, so hopefully that improved in a better way. And the AI tools. Like
And
I said, I've said this a billion times. Like even for my job, we have an AI tool that we use. They built that we use every day. That you put your questions in, just like Chat GPT, and it spits the answer out, and it helps us go through our knowledge database, so that way we can find what we're looking for quicker. That's a useful way of having an actual way that AI is supposed to be utilized, not making caricatures of yourself like everybody else has been doing, and wasting water on resources for just stupid reasons and yeah, things that you shouldn't be using them for. So it's just like, and then instead of getting AI pictures for your channel, it's like
artists.
pay somebody to do that. Yeah. Like there are whole artists out here that do of all different mediums. You could pay somebody good money. You could pay somebody dirt cheap. You can pay anybody to do it and they can get it done. They have whole websites dedicated to finding the bridge the gap between the person, the buyer, and the artist. Get on it. But then also cool that they're having a whole thing about handling with the AI and giving more transparency on that for people who use AI in their videos and things like that. So yeah, but it's just AI is just
Yeah. Yeah.
bleh.
Yeah, I never thought I would be on the other side of like no to AI in that sense. Like there's some benefits, like you said, is like as a tool where if you need if you need to grab from your knowledge base or just like helping with time, what's the word? A time management in the sense of like cutting down time when like editing or something to that effect. That said,
Mhm.
yeah, I just never thought I would see myself on the anti AI train so heavily. It's kind of funny. I thought I'd be sucked in, but no, it's like, nah, that's not it. I'm very much anti AI slop as well because I'm just like, have an original thought. Okay. Moving on to TikTok's had a lot of some significant updates, I would say. Not necessarily a lot, but definitely significant. So America is now operating as its own entity following the sales finalization on January 23rd. TikTok America is now collecting much more data about users, including your precise location, sexual orientation, transgender or non binary status, and citizenship/immigration status. I'll get to the reaction to that in a bit. TikTok Canada has won a legal battle to continue operating in Canada. TikTok America experienced a major data center outage in its first week, resulting in slow load times, buggy videos, and zero engagement. Uninstalls grew by 130% over the previous 30 days following the US takeover of the app, more than likely because of its new terms and conditions where it collects everything about you. And I'm of split mind because I actually still have my ticket. I'm still active on there in the sense that I am repurposing my content. And for that reason, one is like dad working where I work is like, you already got all that shit on me anyway. I don't whatever. So I was like, I don't really care. But also the whole data, like my niche isn't, I don't mean this in a pejorative way, but my niche is not controversial by any means. So it's one of those that's like, okay. But also these other social media sites probably have that on you as well. They're just quiet about it until a lawsuit happens and they have to disclose. So
Yes.
I still have, just because I was able to pivot, I guess, at the last minute with my content. And like now I kind of want to grow an audience, like I said, by repurposing the content that I make on YouTube. It's just easier that way. So, and I can find some nice spots to eat for date night. Yeah, kind of serves a dual purpose when we're trying to look for stuff. So yeah, but I don't know. But I definitely get why people uninstall TikTok and not and no longer feeling safe on it. I definitely get it. At the same time, that's I guess that's why I'm like, yeah, but other social media sites do the exact same thing. So like iPhone probably does the exact same thing as well. Like just your having an iPhone probably does that as well. So that's just me. That's the cynical part of me coming out. But your thoughts though?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Where I'm like, there are sites that we probably don't know about that collect your data, and until it becomes public knowledge, we don't know that they collect your data for it. I was very much on the pro, like, yeah, delete TikTok, and then found myself on TikTok because I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And scroll on. I was like, Threads? No.
Join Threads is actually
So,
not bad.
like I said, I literally am only on Threads because I got sick of when I look at something on Instagram and it looked interesting, and you'd be like, and you click it and it'd be like, open Threads, and I'm like,
That's how you get sucked in.
and so yeah, so now I'm able to actually open up Threads and look at something. I'm like, okay, cool, and then I go back to Instagram, so I'm not there long. But yeah, so but for TikTok, I was at first was like, yeah, I'm going to delete it, but then I didn't, and then and then a week passed, and I was just like, oh, I was like, well, I'm still on it. So, and then I was really thinking like, if they want I if they want my information, it's literally in my bio. So I'm like, I don't care if you have my information because I'm not doing anything. And I don't know, it's just until the day that they say that they're like explicitly like selling the information to certain solid formed agencies.
Mm.
Then yeah, I'm gonna be on TikTok. I like TikTok Shop. I like browsing. That's my brain rot. So yeah, it's just like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I'm there. I was not part of the 130%. I wasn't.
Well, it is what it is. I've grown my following. I've almost doubled it since I revamped it like 6 months ago. So I'm just like, yeah, we'll ride this train till, like you said, they legit they until they are explicitly feeding everybody's information to certain people, and then it's like, okay, well, again, my content shouldn't be controversial anyway, but I still don't want y'all to have it. All right, moving on to creator industry news. Speaking of Threads, Threads has taken over Twitter in mobile daily active users. I am one of them. Trovo. Remember Trovo? Trovo is discontinuing monetary programs in North America, Europe, and Latin America. Kick was spotted testing Google AdSense banner ads. Stream Elements is seeking community support to keep its service free for all creators. They are seeking $300,000 per month. The Senate Democrats, since y'all want to get on Democrats, I get on them too. We're not doing much, but Senate Democrats apparently are hosting a creator summit on February 11th, probably to engage with political creators and see what messaging could feed to the masses. Basically, if I had to guess, Finland is planning a social media ban for under 15-year-olds. Canada is considering one for under 14s, while India thinks that banning under 16s might be the way to go. And good news for Markiplier. Markiplier's self-funded movie Iron Lung quadrupled its budget in its debut weekend, earning $22 million, which is about 14 to 15 million more than another movie that had an opening weekend. Sorry.
Since we're on that subject, it opened up to cricket. Oh, I heard that there was nobody going.
Nobody.
When I saw the ad for it, I said, "Who asked for this?" Everybody wants to know.
I didn't even know it was a thing until I heard that it came out and that it flopped badly, but Amazon spent $75 million on it.
Shame on Amazon. This way, nobody asked for that. It could have been a book. It could have been an email. It could have been a Substack.
What got me was that it wasn't even a life story. It was 3 weeks, the first like 3 weeks before the inauguration. Anyway.
It was a mess. That's what it was, a mess. Because I literally saw it right before. Not, I didn't see it. For it, I saw the ads for it like right before it came out when they announced it, and I was like, "Why? Who asked? Girl, ain't nobody checking for you. You trying to prove to people that you had that house. You in New York."
Right.
But yeah. But yeah, so good for Iron Lung for debuting and beating out films that apparently were competition. But yeah, but with the threads overtaking Twitter in daily activity, that and daily active users is kind of like,
Because Twitter's gotten creepy. I didn't
that's
put this
kind
on here, but Twitter's gotten freaking creepy
of
with its freaking oh wait, I don't know if I can say that. You know, yeah, criminals on there. It
yeah, it's not a safe space.
is not.
It's not a safe space. It's yeah. I went through my Twitter, and because they changed a lot of stuff. I'm not doing certain things anymore. So I went through my Twitter, and it's now safe for work. But before that, they were going after S workers because they changed a lot of terms. So a lot of them were like, yeah, I can't post not that people were posting explicit content to an extent on there, or like especially not for free, but it was like linking it to their private sites and things
Right.
like that. And yeah, they changed their terms, so a lot of different stuff was no longer can fly. So Twitter is just becoming more and more. It's like, I don't know, they just subject their users to a lot of hoops that you have to go through.
Yeah.
So yeah, but good on Finland for trying to ban social media for kids, because I definitely am pro ban social media for kids. Y'all don't need to be on it, because see, back in my day when it said you had to be 13 to get on a thing, or you had to be 18, you literally had to wait because you weren't bright enough to be like, let me just put in. I mean, we got into chat rooms.
We did. We
I'm
did
not
it.
even gonna.
We should
Yeah.
listen, when we know better, we do better.
Like, was I in the teenagers chat when I was in middle school? Yes, I was. Was when you're lying, like I'm 18. It's like, but also I had enough common sense to be like, I'm not meeting somebody on the internet. So
Right.
there's that. But that being said, kids today, they have it so much worse on the internet, where it's just because there's so many ways that people who do wrong can connect to them. We had, like I said, we had just a chat room, and it might be somebody from like 12 states away. Y'all are like on video with people
And once
and sliding in DMs,
and once we got Facebook, you kind of had to show your picture and stuff, so like, or upload something. So it definitely wasn't as easily to manipulate back then. I think also,
exactly.
I mean, this sort of kicked off while I was still in high school, but it went on massive steroids after with Gen Z. The amount of cyberbullying on social media that happens is just, yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Like the amount that they're subjected to from outside sources that are people 3 times their age, from their classmates. An embarrassing moment that could have been like you could get over in relatively no time, but now somebody videotaped it and it's all over the internet. So people from another country are laughing at you.
Yep.
Or like making comments about you, or especially like girls making comments on their bodies, like negative, like just negativity everywhere.
Yep.
That's why I was like, I'm very pro ban it for kids,
Yeah.
because
Same. You don't really
your
need it.
your frontal lobe isn't even, yeah, I'm like, their frontal lobe isn't even done developing, so the way of their thinking is not complete. So it's like they can't handle certain things. You think that certain kids, they're like, oh well, they grew up in tough situations and this, that, and the other, and so they're gonna be tougher and they're gonna like they got this. And it's like, no,
No.
because they don't think like an adult. It's like, no. But yeah. And then I don't even know what Trovo is.
It was supposed to be another version of Twitch slash yeah.
Bad for them.
Yeah. I confused
They
myself for a
tried.
second. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be another version. And so anywho, any thoughts on the creators of it?
I don't know how this is gonna play out with, because I'd be side eyeing some of them Democrats.
Yeah, but
Also, is this what we really need right now? A creator summit? I mean, I get it, but I don't get it.
I would argue yes to a degree because say what you want about the other side, they really had an effective social media game. We still have it. But they have an effective social media game that targeted younger, like the Gen Z and even Gen Alpha, the Gen Alpha potential voters and Gen Z voters. So yes, the Dems are behind in the sense that in the sense of trying to grab the chronically online yet low information. Sounds bad. That does sound elitist when you say it out loud. Chronically online yet low propensity, I guess is the alternative term for that. But the voters who are more likely to stay home. But chronically online yet low propensity voters who are like, what's in it for me? Why should I vote? What's the point of voting again? Like, yeah, there's a big gap there despite our effort. Well, but despite their efforts a couple of years ago, it was clearly it's a big gap. So yeah,
Yeah. I
now
wonder what create what
I was gonna say now there is a good chance that they were messing up, but they can at least try.
I wonder what creators that they're inviting.
Mm.
Next question.
Hopefully those who have been running the independent media, independent journalism game, because they have been, to me, and they're mostly on threads, and that's what, but to me, they've been the ones who have been really effective at getting the information out there. Hopefully there's something where maybe if they're holding this creator summit, Senate Dems can help broaden the reach of those in independent journalism. But there are a few who come to mind personally that I like follow or see on threads all the time. It was like, oh yeah, they'd be good. That type of partnership. But of course they're independent. So it's like it's more so like they're really independent. They're gonna hold both sides feet to the fire. It's just that more often than not, you hold them feet to the fire on their policies and you hold Republicans feet to the fire on everything else. So
Speaking of independent creators, did you know Hassan Pike he got banned off Twitch for a while?
was it because he shocked his dog? Because I did hear about that.
He was
Oh, you didn't hear? Because they
no.
have the shock collars for your dog, I guess. So he was on stream.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got him first.
Yeah. So I guess he shocked his dog on stream. But I don't know if that was why he is banned now or if
It's
there's
not
another
why.
reason. Huh?
It's not why.
Okay, because that was like 2 months ago. I was like, dang, they still banned him for okay. Why he get
No,
banned this
this
time?
happened like he got banned in this week. He got banned
What you do?
because he made some comments linking a certain agency about a certain agency that's in the press, and he made some comments and they banned him.
Well,
So
if
there's no
everything
freedom of speech.
if everything was labeled properly, he should have appealed that. I feel like no, right? Unless he took it to the burn it all down route, and I'm not defending it, but I can see why, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I'm saying is, I don't know how bad his comments were.
It is literally we'll talk about it after, but like to me, they weren't bad. It's just that it's a progressive way of thinking, and
Would it get me in trouble?
yes,
Okay.
if you said it on this, it might get you in trouble at work.
Okay. Noted.
That's why I was like, this could be a conversation we have after, but you might get in trouble at work.
All right.
Come to you Monday morning, and be like, "Excuse me."
All right. I still feel like though if everything was labeled properly on the back end, and by that I mean if he labeled his stream as political or sensitive material, then I don't think he should have gotten banned.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like the main thing he was talking about was just about immigration, and that's a hot button issue right now. But certain agencies and linking the two together,
Mm,
in protests.
mm.
And he made some comments. But I think what really got it was just certain he used a certain he compared
Oh, okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
yeah, it's nothing I don't see wrong with it at all. But
So
if anybody ever read
he's a student of
huh,
history, basically.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
I don't think that was bannable, but whatever.
If yeah, like comparing it was giving what's that book? Movie Animal Farm,
Yeah.
where everything is represented by animal.
Yeah.
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 Yes, it's giving that. I'm a firm believer that if people just would have grown up reading Mouse, MAUS, that you would have an expanded view on things, certain things, and you'd be like,
We could
oh,
have stopped that if
but
people grew up
no.
reading, but
That part, girl,
I thought
reading is fundamental and they don't do it.
I thought I wasn't that special because I like to read. And looking back, I'm like, oh, well, apparently. All right.
Yeah, the kids aren't right. Children should have been left behind.
They should. Absolutely.
Yeah, on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I'd just be looking at people like, your ass should have been behind. It's just, oh,
If I
but
do. If
yes,
I do have kids, I will feel for them. I don't know what to say, kids.
it's
All right.
private school.
Private school for sure.
You know, a good live in a good school district.
Yeah, it'll probably be private school. I'll be the bougie parent.
Like, we're going private.
All right. Moving on to just don't care. So do y'all care? So let's talk about Turning Point USA's response to the Super Bowl, which we already knew was happening, but since Super Bowl Sunday is this weekend, kind of want to bring it back, and they dropped the lineup. So that's why I wanted to. So, if y'all don't know, been living under a rock, Bad Bunny is who is headlining the Super Bowl, and Green Day is doing the pre-game performance, which I definitely want to listen to some Green Day tomorrow and the day of to just seeing Green Day. Anyway, yeah, Bad Bunny is headlining the Super Bowl. Massive response when that was first announced because people on one particular side were like, "How dare you?" Because he speaks Spanish and it's Puerto Rican, and then geography is also apparently also a special skill. All right, but earlier this week, Turning Point USA announced its lineup for its alternative and not genre, but alternative halftime performance that would take place, competing against Bad Bunny, who, like I said, is headlining the Super Bowl. And I said it's a who's who of who. The lineup includes Kid Rock, country rock singer Brantley Gilbert, and country singers Gabby Barrett and Lee Bryce. Ooh, those some really all right. Turning Point USA announced in October that they will have an all-American halftime show for the Super Bowl. And if you don't know who's playing, it's the Seahawks and the Patriots. Yeah, don't listen to none of them. I wonder if that's how other people feel when we talk about like Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion or like Kendrick Lamar or Green Day even. I don't know. To be on the other side. Anyway,
I don't know.
your thoughts though on the lineup?
Well, since you asked, my favorite thing that came about from this was people showing their ignorance and the lack of intelligence when they said he's not even American, and it's like, excuse me, let's grab a map.
So I said geography is apparently
We're
a
gonna-
special skill as well.
Girl, because let's oh, hey Spoon, like, let's grab this map real quick, and we're gonna draw out all the 50 states, and then we're gonna draw out all the territories, and under one of those little territories, it's called Puerto Rico, and they're American citizens. Because why? They're a U.S. territory. And they're like, he's not American. He literally has a social security number.
Yeah.
Can't get more American than that.
Yeah.
I was like, they're a part of this country. That's like when my uncle, when a certain orange president came into office the first time, and he's like, I'm moving out the country, and he moved to Puerto Rico, and we're like, yeah. It's like, yeah. But yeah, that was my favorite part. I was like, I'm watching a Bad Bunny concert
Exactly.
with some football playing before and after, apparently.
Right.
I'm
here for Green Day and Bad Bunny. And I'm hoping Bad Bunny brings out Barty.
Right. In the words of T.S. Madison, I feel Puerto Rican. I was just like, yes. So yeah. Just yeah. I don't know. And then who is watching this American lineup of trash? Because first of all, Kid Rock is not gonna say the R word, but not the long R word, but I mean, he is, but we can't say that he is, so apparently that he is, but in my opinion he is.
There are
race.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, which word? Okay, gotcha. Tracking.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, we can't really say that he is, but
oh yeah, he is.
Lines.
He is. All the whatever isms you can think of, he more likely is.
Yes. And he fell off hard, and I just feel bad for Pamela. Yeah, because Pamela Anderson dated him too, right? No, good. It was Tommy Lee. Never mind. It was
Yeah,
Tommy Lee.
that was Tommy Lee.
Wrong white, wrong white person. Wrong white person. I was like, I'm glad she's not linked to him anymore. Wrong white. But yeah, it's just it's a lineup of people who like you said, there's like a who? That's the only big person y'all have, and he hasn't been big in how many decades?
He's big to some
And then
people.
somebody put up the lyrics of his songs, and
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
they were like, yeah, and they were like, oh, a Bad Bunny song, and then they put the lyrics up. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, never mind, that's Kid Rock. They're like, oh, it's translated into English, and it was talking about people making sure they're of age, and they're like, oh wait, no, actually, Bad Bunny didn't say that. That's all Kid Rock.
I can't believe
So
so
yeah,
bad. I can't believe y'all gave us hell for WAP.
girl, and it wasn't even that bad. I was like,
Man.
y'all better leave Benito alone. But I can't wait for this. I can't wait.
Also, congrats on him winning its album of the year, right? That is the big one at the end of the Grammys.
Is he the album or record of the year? I think it's
It's album of the year. Yeah. But congrats to him for winning album of the year, by the way.
Yes. I loved his acceptance speech because one, it was in Spanish.
Right.
So it made all the people mad. I love that. Love that for him. And like I was like, I didn't understand a lick of it. I understand the English parts. And then when he kept talking, I was like, I feel your vibe. That's all I need to understand is I feel your vibe. Yep. So yeah, love that. Congratulations. I love that he got so emotional when they announced it, and he just sat there and it was like soaking it in. Like they just said my name, and he's won like other like Latin Grammys.
Yeah.
But to win the biggest award of the night, and it's just like, and then because this is like, I'm not gonna say it's his peak time. It's just he's on a rise right now.
Yeah.
Because to be picked for the Super Bowl, to be an artist who can be outspoken and still be publicly loved, to do whatever you want, like he'll come and he advocates for other people, and then he'll sit there, and how he was dressed in that nice tailored suit, but then sometimes he might show up in a dress.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck you, because I'm Benito. I can do whatever I want. It's just like, yeah, it's Bad Bunny. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. And like I said, he advocates for people. He advocates for his country. He does things for his country. It's just he's a good person as far as what we see and how it's perceived for everybody. Like you don't know what people do behind closed doors, but from what everything that's put out, he seems like a very positive person.
Yeah.
And everybody who has an interaction with him, they don't come back with stories of it being negative.
Right.
Only time I can say I'm side-eyeing him is when he was dating Kylie Jenner. Or not Kylie, but Kendall. I was like, boy, why?
I didn't even know they dated.
Yeah, they dated. I was like, first of all, there's a language barrier. So how was that going? I can't talk because I be talking to people who can barely speak English also. So and we just be working through it. We're like, yeah, like that's my tip right now, that I'm on people who are not American, and I love it. But yeah, it's just I'm excited to see the Bad Bunny concert featuring some footballers, I guess. I'm excited for it. I hope that the little American, what is it called? The American Rally, the All American halftime.
There we go. Yeah, that.
So the rally. And if you know, you know. Yeah, so I hope that bombs, and that it just it's gonna get ratings because of certain people that are like, oh, we want American culture and Americans and English. So it's gonna get its ratings for those people that agree with that, but it's gonna be like a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
It's like it's not gonna hold a candle to it.
No.
And for you, it'd be like, so, but yeah.
All righty. Next up. All right. So Mr. West apologized. I won't put quotation marks around it, even though I really want to. But Mr. West apologized with the full page ad in the Wall Street Journal. The artist formerly known as Kanye West, he goes by Ye now, took out a full page ad in the Wall Street Journal to publish a letter apologizing for his behavior during what he says was a 4-month manic episode that took place in the first half of 2025. In it, he grappled with his bipolar disorder diagnosis and addressed selling Yahtzee merch and reflected on letting the Black community down. Now, other factors that were surrounding this and the timing of it, I'm not saying he did it for this reason. I'm just saying there are other factors that were surrounding this and the timing of this. He does have a new album called Bully, which is set to arrive on March 20th. He also has some legal claims that he's currently facing, including a sexual harassment, assault, and wrongful termination lawsuit that was brought by his former assistant in 2024. I do not have this diagnosis, so I can't opine on whether a manic episode will make you do Yahtzee stuff. I will say the
Tag me in. I do. So, because I got the diagnosis. I am not afraid to tell people, like, yes, I have bipolar disorder. I had a whole manic episode and it did not make me go on crazy rants talking about how certain J word people and just doing all this crazy nonsense. It makes you have episodes, but there's a difference between an episode and being an asshole.
fair,
He was being an asshole.
fair.
So yeah. Okay, but continue on your path.
All I was gonna say was
You said
I wasn't gonna opine on whether having a bipolar disorder diagnosis makes you sing praises to her. So I just have seasonal affective and that has never made me, but it might be different. So I that's all I was gonna say. It was like I don't think, but again, I do not deal with that personally, so I won't say that doesn't make you. All I'm saying is, okay. Best apology is change behavior. But again, the other factors surrounding it, the timing of it just looks very convenient. Also, yeah, I know he mentioned that he let the Black community down. I feel like we could have gotten an apology as well, particularly for the your politics are your politics, it's whatever. But specifically the White Lives Matter stunt and stuff like that he pulled, it was like, we don't get an apology for that. All right, whatever. What else is there? Yeah, that's my only thing. It's like if I see change behavior, then I'll believe. I'll see it when I believe it. Or I believe it when I see it. There we go. I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. And not listening to that album either. I think I'm good. I feel like there was something else I had, but the action of apologizing by taking out full page ad in a very paywalled, for one, super paywalled, but also investor friendly journal newsletter like the Wall Street Journal, as opposed to tweets like he has done in the past, or something that is more accessible to the public square, that we wouldn't have to rely on journalists who are able to access the Wall Street Journal, for people who don't want to get behind that paywall, because everything is paywalled on there. So yeah, the method of apology was what initially raised my eyebrows of like, why not just tweet it out like you do everything else instead of taking out ad in an investor friendly article? But okay, yeah, that. And once I read about like he has an album coming out, at first I thought it was gonna come out at the end of January, but it's coming out in March. But that's still pretty close together. So it just, to me, pattern recognition, doing a full page ad for investor friendly Wall Street Journal, and you got an album coming out in March, and I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah, that's where I am with that. But you got anything else?
Yeah, like you said, I believe it when I see it. I'll listen to another album when he comes back to being Kanye and not Ye, because them Ye albums, the apology, I believe it when I see it. I don't believe it. I believe him about as far as I can throw him, and I'm pretty sure I can't throw him very far. So there's that. And again, with the tip of the bipolar disorder, it makes you have manic episodes to do certain things. But just hold on, let me Google something. Manic episode. So when you have a manic episode, because I want to get it out right. It's a period abnormally persistently elevated or irritable mood and high energy lasting at least 1 week. So it has to last at least a week. So you have like grandiose and like racing thoughts, and you have more riskier behavior. So like you can spend money, you become impulsive, you can it's like different like me, it came out as me being very impulsive and doing random shit. Like a thought came into my head and I was like, do it. So there was no filter to be like, stop. It was just all go. But it's also, so I can see where he was saying like, I guess I can see where he was saying like, oh, I make these statements because of my so, so I guess I can see where he's saying that he made these statements because of that, but also you had that no, that reflects the real you. No,
Like, yeah, because I was gonna
see,
say to yeah, that part
because
right
you
there.
yeah, I was like that reflects the real you because it didn't make you have that thought to say those things. It was already in you to say them. That filter that you have that makes you stop and think about what you're about to say, that doesn't click. So even if you wouldn't been having an episode, you still have these thoughts. So you're asshole. Okay. So all it did was let us know how you feel.
Mm,
I was like, it doesn't make you say certain things. It doesn't make people, it's not like in the movies where people going off the I mean people can, but like episodes aren't always like that. And like you're going off the wall and crazy and doing just all the kind of stuff, and like the only like thing I can ever think of is from Degrassi when Craig when
no,
he was like crazy and mumbling to himself and beat up his stepdad and all that. And it was like, yeah, it's not all like that. It's like you can have a break, but it's not going to be like that all the time. And like I said, it's just his thoughts are his thoughts. He just didn't have that impulse, the impulsivity to keep saying it versus that thing in your head that makes you like actually stop and be like, wait a minute, I
mm,
shouldn't say that. Or like, but then when you think deeper on it, it's also like, so you have these thoughts. This is what you feel.
right.
So it's just like, yeah, like I don't think ill will towards certain people, like groups of people, or like want to compare them or praise Smittler. Like that's not in my head to be like, yeah. And if I happen to have an episode, it's not going to be in my head to be like, let me praise him now all of a sudden. So no, like no, it's yeah, it's I'm not here for the apology. I've talked myself out of it completely. I was like, maybe no, I'm not here for it. I've talked myself completely out of it. Yeah, so fuck him. End of the day, I'm glad that I hope you're back on your meds. I know what happens when I don't take mine for a day. I know how I feel, so I can't imagine not taking them for months.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully maybe while you hopefully maybe the album might be fire because you do be having some good clear like I'm not gonna lie, even though when you're having a manic episode and you having a bright idea, the execution might not be the greatest, but that idea sometimes it be there. Like it be there.
I'm gonna let y'all tell me what the album's like, and then I'll find other ways to not give money to listen.
Yes, that's a job for Nighthawk. Be like, hey, you listen to the album. I trust your opinion and go ahead, listen to it. If y'all don't know, y'all don't follow Nighthawk, y'all should because his what's the word I'm looking for? Assertions of music and the breakdowns are very good. So I'm like, I trust your opinion. So I'm gonna listen to that. And if you listen to it and tell me, all right, it's kind of good. I'll be like, all right, okay, I'm gonna check it out. Otherwise, no.
Moving on to weekly roundups under the radar. So apparently, Spotify is going to let users buy physical books on the app through their bookshop.org partnership. It said on Thursday that it would begin selling physical books on a streaming platform through a partnership with the online retailer bookshop.org, marking an unexpected expansion beyond its audiobooks business. The company is doubling down on new features to better compete with rival streaming services from tech giants such as Apple and Amazon. Interesting. I'm definitely getting more into reading outside of class assignments, but other stuff this year. So I don't know if I'll use Spotify. I'm kind of like Spotify is there for now for me, but at the same time, like I don't like your overuse of its use of AI for stuff. I'm like, I know it's everywhere, but
I don't use Spotify because I have Apple Music. So I'm like, why do I need to ask Spotify?
I have Apple Music as well. But I have all of it. I have Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. But it's just Spotify. It's just like it's the one that I go to most. So yeah, it's there. I'm probably gonna start
If y'all don't, if
using Apple. Huh?
I'm gonna say, if y'all don't know that that was just a flex that M just spit on us, I have all of
Well, no, because I keep getting them
them.
out. It's just
I'm
more
just
so it's
playing.
like they're all there. So it's like, but anyways, but yeah. Your thoughts on
Oh,
the book on Spotify doing the physical books though?
that's actually kind of cool that they'll have a feature where they like you can actually just or a partnership with them, so that way you can get the physical books because that's going to be big for book talk people.
Yeah.
I feel like so, and I'm not on book talk. I should get back on it. I used to love reading. I need to get back to reading, but that's neither here nor there. But I think I was like, as soon as you said it about that, I was like, let me go check out Bookshop, and it might like boost them up because I've never heard of Bookshop.
Yeah.
There are plenty of book things that like me, my go-to is BookBub. But that's because I don't do what you call them, physical copies.
Ah.
I just do, yeah, just yeah. So it's just like, oh yeah, go on BookBub. You can find them. You can link it with your Kindle or your Apple books and stuff like that, or your Nook, and you can get it right on your stuff. So yeah, but I will definitely check it out. I don't need to buy nothing else. Say, maybe I'll get into buying books again because I have so many books and no, I don't need to do anything with them. I do nothing with them. So yeah, they just collect dust now. So yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, very interesting though. Curious to see how that'll work out overall. And then if I still am using Spotify, I'll probably see about getting a book there. Maybe. We'll see.
Ooh, side note, I'm on their site and they got a Black History Month code to buy from Black History Month books
Ooh.
about from Black authors and everything. Okay, let me get my little 25% off or however 20% off for the month.
All right. And then Baldur's Gate HBO series is in the works from Last of Us co-creator Craig Madsen. So HBO is developing a TV adaptation of Hasbro's fantasy role-playing video game series Baldur's Gate, probably off of the big success of Baldur's Gate 3 that came out in 2023. And Craig Mazin, the co-creator and showrunner of HBO's hit video game adaptation Last of Us, will serve as the showrunner and executive producer. So yeah, putting his money behind it basically. I still have not played Baldur's Gate 3 yet. I keep saying I'm gonna get on
I
it.
played it.
What do you think?
It was fun.
Okay.
For as long as I was playing, I played it for quite a bit, and I'm not a turnstile game person, but it was actually interesting, and I played it until like I lost interest, but it was actually like entertaining. And then I actually liked watching who I was watching play it.
Yeah.
It was entertaining to watch it, the playthrough of it. So yeah, but I enjoyed it, and I would like to see how they'll do this as an adaptation. I hope it's true to the source, meaning that they will not try to sugarcoat things and be well, it's HBO, so it can be very when it comes to love interest, anybody can get it.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're not trying to be like, well, actually. So yeah. So I hope that they do that right. Because you can have any love interest in the game, so it should be the same in the show.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh. But it's interesting. So big ups to HBO. It better be good. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that is all for this episode of the Embassy Talks podcast. I forgot what I was about to say for a second. All right, but that wraps up. There we go. That wraps up another episode of the Embassy Talks podcast. We are back for 2026, and the goal is to be a little more consistent. Especially that I don't really have that much of an excuse now, but yeah. So at any rate, appreciate y'all for coming out, chatting with us, enjoying the conversation. We will catch y'all next time.